Hello, dear goddess. I just realized I did not have my little mic on my shirt. There we go, all clipped and ready to go. Welcome to this week's Twin Flame Tuesday. And right before I was being called to come and record this, my left ear was ringing. So we have definitely got some messages to receive for sure today. My name is Rochelle Richard, and welcome to my channel here at Empowerment Experiences, where we are healing twin flames, looking for and finding our power all along that which is our twin flame self-love empowerment journey. And whether you are or are not on a twin flame journey, these Goddess Rising empowerment messages will still resonate with you to some degree, I'm sure. Because the intention and focus is about you, dear Goddess, finding your power to rise and thrive on your journey. And a twin flame journey is 1000% a self-love empowerment journey. That said, let's see what messages we have for us today, this Twin Flame Tuesday. After I went and set up all of this sage and everything for us here, let's have some of this. As I mentioned before, I made this bowl with my own hands. And so it has that wonderful creative energy in it, infused in it. It was one of my very first pottery creations. It's important to experience things in this realm that your mind might say, oh, I can't. Oh, really? The only reason you can't is because you believe you can't. You're saying you can't. You see, we shy away from the unknown when we are in our egos, when we are experiencing that fear. Well, if you are feeling fear, it is because you are in your ego space. It is when you can surrender to the journey and have faith, knowing that even though you may not be able to see that which you are desiring to create or see the outcome of what is unfolding now, you have complete and utter belief and trust, knowing that everything is going to work out for you, for the highest good of all. And as the more awakened twin in this connection, you, dear sweet sister, have the power to create any experience you desire. You have the power to influence this connection, and you do so by harnessing the energy within yourself to create anything and everything else in your life. That is what it is to stand in your power. To recognize that you are only influenced by the outside world when you allow it to influence you. So your counterpart isn't talking to you. So he's not with you physically. Well, it's time for you to be with yourself. Focus on you. Yes, get clear on what that vision looks like to be with him. Get clear on whatever vision you have, what it looks like to have that, to be in that reality that you desire to be experiencing. Because that which we perceive to be reality is nothing more than an illusion created by our own minds. So guess what? Create with your imagination, whatever illusion of a reality you would like to live. Because it's passing, it's fleeting. This is why practicing presence and being anchored into this moment of now is that which is going to support you in being anchored and present in any and every moment of that which you desire to create, and do so create. For myself, what is definitely coming up is I would give anything to go back 2.5 years back to Goa and be far more anchored into that present moment, knowing that that might be the last time I get to go to India, because I don't play the scam that's going right now. No tests, no genocide jab, none of that. None of that. That is why we're here, is to awaken humanity to the reality of its connection, of its powerful connection to Source. Yes. To break free and truly know freedom. However, that said, simply because my mind in that moment wants to say that I may never experience that, that is me, as an example, being in that ego space of saying, oh, it will never happen based on how things are right now. What's happening now has already been manifested. It already is. We each are here to be creating what is coming, rather than focusing on what is, to focus on what we're creating. Because what is already created. You cannot change what is right now. You can only change your point of attraction for what is to come. And everything in this realm is temporary. What awaits us is something as yet to be seen. Something so divinely incredible, just as is this twin flame connection. Something that we can't quite describe. For it is ineffable. Ineffable being the word that means unable to describe something, because it is so close to that which is Source that words cannot contain the expression to properly convey what it is. It can only be felt. This is why we are ascending through times that will enhance our telepathy, our intuitive gifts. I mean, that is what Super Science Sunday was really focused on, is you anchoring into your intuitive gifts, allowing yourself to receive your own inner guidance. And that's the key here. You don't need someone else outside of you to tell you what to think, do, believe, or anything. Only you will know, as I bring forth these empowerment messages, whether or not they resonate with you. And that is what is important, is yes, you allow yourself to take in any information, but to actually keep it, that's up to you. To implement it, to allow it to impact and influence your experience, that is up to you. You have that right of free will choice. No one can tell you what to do, who to be, how to think. You're here to create your own individual experience. And the same goes for each and every unique twin flame connection. As I mentioned before, we may have a lot of synchronicities and similarities in them. However, within those synchronicities and similarities, each are uniquely divine and divinely unique. Wow. I needed to get that out, apparently. That is something that we needed to hear. I know I did. So, ooh. It is time to break these cycles. The cycles of believing that you're not good enough, of believing that you have to worry about what everybody else thinks, do what you're told. No. You see, I'm hearing first, do no harm. You see, that is what doctors are supposed to adhere to. However, the majority, well, more people die by the hand of a doctor than a lot of other things in this world. Because instead of tuning into yourself and listening to you and what is best for you, we have instead been taught to put our faith in those outside of us and to stop trusting our own selves because someone else knows better. No, dear goddess, this is one of the greatest challenges of the twin flame journey, is there are so many gurus out there, a majority of which are not on twin flame journeys at all. But there are so many who claim to know what this is. And they know all the details and all the ins and outs. And what often happens is you take in so much of that information that you begin to undermine your own knowing. You second guess, you question. And when you're questioning one area of your life, that leads you to question all areas of your life. That means that you are undermining your own self-confidence, your own inner knowing, your own trust across the board. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And it is time, goddess, that you break that cycle. That you really begin to anchor into what you know for your path, what feels good for you. Because as things are revealed in this world that were once kept hidden in the dark, they will cause you to question so much about yourself, about your life, about what you've been taught, about what you came to believe that this illusion of a reality is. Humanity has been lied to for millennia, and a lot of that truth, that cycle too, is being broken. It is why we are here. It's to break free from the matrix. To liberate ourselves from the illusion of freedom and actually shift into the reality, the truth of freedom. So celebrate that liberation for yourself. Celebrate your own freedom within. From the stories that your mind has been telling you, from the doubts, from the fears, from the judgments. When you feel into good feeling spaces, freedom, joy, love, empowerment, strength, visions coming true, dreams manifested. When you celebrate those things as if they already are, guess what, goddess? You align with those things as if they are. You break the cycles, the chains that have kept you playing small and trapped in that itty bitty little comfort zone that really hasn't been any bit of fucking comfortable, has it? The more you look at what you do not have and that you want, the more you amplify that. Whereas the more you anchor into celebrating that it already is, because yes, 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 dear sweet sister, it is. The fact that you desire it means that in some timeline, you are already experiencing that. You've just got to close the gap between here and there and shift into that timeline. This is why I again point out that anytime that your mind is telling you that you can't be, do, or have something. It's because you are looking at how things are right now, how they've already been manifested, and right now it's done. We are perpetually going and growing, and things can change in an instant. I know magic and miracles can happen in a single moment and change my life in a single moment. I know magic and miracles can happen and change my life in a single moment, because they can and do. My best example is winning the lottery. Imagine for the person who wins millions of dollars like that. You'd say that's magic and miraculous, right? It happens. So celebrate that it already is. So you are empowering yourself to close these cycles, to break these patterns and integrate the lessons and reclaim your fucking power. So you are moving forward and aligning yourself with the reality that you desire to be living. I have been meditating so much more these past couple days, and it has been phenomenal. So liberating to break free of the constraints of the mind. The mind thinks this little. This is how much the mind perceives. When there is no limitation in the universe, none. The only limits, that's why the quote, only the sky is the limit. No, it's not. No, it's not. The only limits that you could ever experience and know are the limits created by your own mind. Because your mind can only work from a space of what it's already experienced, of what information it's already taken in, things that it already knows. Which when we experience only 1% of this realm, wow, I mean, of that which is the universe, 1%, that leaves 99% that you cannot see, hear, smell, taste, touch. That's where the miracles are, goddess, the 99%. And when you celebrate and align yourself and connect with that energy, wow, you open up these massive portals for all that beauty and wonder to flow in. For yourself to just walk right through that stargate and into that timeline, that dimension instead. To break the cycles and bondages of this world. That's what you've come. You've come to learn how to harness energy in this earth school. That is one of the biggest lessons that you have come to learn. And you do that by taking your power back from these self-sabotaging patterns, thought patterns, habits, behaviors that you have been perpetuating in your own life for far too long. That they are habitual, they are subconscious. But the more you consciously focus on purpose, intentionally, toward that which you do desire, and you stop fucking telling the stories of how you don't want it to be. This is why meditation is so powerful, because it assists with releasing that chokehold that the ego has, your thoughts have over you. You slow that momentum down. And you're able to, with greater power and energy and control over yourself, focus and embody that which you do want to be experiencing, which is retraining your body, retraining you to become who you desire to be. No longer a victim to your mind, no longer allowing your mind to be controlling you, but rather you controlling your own mind, your state of being, your point of attraction. Whew. There's some shit coming today, isn't there? As I've mentioned before, there are those who have asked, do I channel spirit and such? It's very important to know that channels have to be very, very aware of being overtaken, because I do know, unfortunately, someone who channels something that she believes is of the light. And as I watch her, no, it's not. No, it's not. So I know firsthand. However, that being said, I bring forth that which flows through me. Kind of like the Abraham thing, in the sense of I don't think about what is said. It just comes out of me. So it's intuitive, but I'm not overtaken. I'm not possessed. I am still very present here, while at the same time allowing my soul, my higher self, my intuition, to bring forth whatever messages are here to come through. You see, the mind has this need to think about what we say, because it wants to make sure that it's not going to say anything that's going to offend anybody or get it in trouble or be judged, be criticized, condemned. We're here to disrupt shit, goddess. I know I am. And if you're on my team, you're here to disrupt shit. Okay? So, this is one of the ways that you celebrate, goddess, is you dance. You dance. In fact, one of my favorite things to do is I do like to clean when I have the music going. And if I put on music that makes me move, all of a sudden I'm like, ooh, where's something I can clean? Ooh, I need to clean the fridge. That reminds me. Right? And that's another thing, is when you clean, when you cleanse, when you declutter, you are creating space for this amazing to flow in. Because things take up space physically and energetically. And when you declutter physically, when you declutter mentally, when you declutter energetically, spiritually, that creates the space necessary for what you do want to flow in. So put on some music, twerk it, drop it like it's hot, make sure you can pick it back up, and scrub a dub, baby, scrub a dub. Right? Cleanse, prepare, treat your space, your environment as though it is the most beautiful, gold-plated, diamond-encrusted place you've ever known before. Experience and feel that abundance around you. Create that abundance for yourself. And that in turn is you embodying and aligning yourself for more abundance and blessings to flow into your life. Because it is about bringing balance into your life. When you again have things that are weighing you down, that are cluttering your space, that are taking your attention and energy away from that which you desire. Because a chaotic environment is definitely a reflection of a chaotic mind. Oof, I learned this with my former roommate, and wow, some of those things that are really coming to light now that she's been out of my house. You know, it's amazing. I hesitate using the phrase hindsight's 20/20, but at the same time, those who were actually doing the research last year, wow, you really got your eyes opened last year, didn't ya? So I guess hindsight really is 20/20. You really open your eyes up and see shit that you really didn't want to see before. And that in turn allows you to see things you did not see before. Looking at things that are in your space going, ooh, you know, that really doesn't feel good having that in my environment anymore. And it's time to let it go. It's time to clean that up. It's time to organize that. It's time to reorganize that. I saw someone who did something totally different with her fridge. Like put the condiments in the bottom shelf, because I agree. The drawers are where the fruits and vegetables go to die, aren't they? So she put those in the door where the condiments would go, and she put the condiments in the bottom drawer. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's brilliant, because you're gonna go looking for your condiments, but you forget about that fresh produce, don't you? Guilty. Out of sight, out of mind, isn't it? Well, that means you got to do something different. Be willing to step out of that box and experience something different so that you get different results. And if things have been imbalanced for a long time in any area of your life, that is definitely going to bring an imbalance to every area of your life, right? Like for some of us who are entrepreneurs, I tend to overwork, which I am grateful after my wonderful trip up to the Sedona area. It wasn't Sedona specifically. I did go into town, but it was near Sedona, so kind of out more in the country, small town. Really recognizing again, wow, I've got to do more being and less doing. And lo and behold, that is what is shifting things already yet again in my business. Every time you find that there is resistance or things are not flowing, it's because you are putting the block in the way. You're the one that's blocking it. So you've got to look at your life and in yourself and ask, what is out of balance in myself and in my life? And how can I bring more balance to my life and in myself? Like I said, meditation is a doozy for that. So that's really what this Twin Flame Tuesday is about, is focusing on you, looking for how your life is imbalanced, so you can be breaking the cycles and really anchoring into and aligning with the celebrating of receiving that which you desire. Because was the receive card not in the Sunday reading this week? If I am not mistaken, it was, right? So we've got to get out of our own way. And this means to allow ourselves to let go of what no longer serves and be receiving, embracing, allowing what we do desire to flow in, especially that harmonious physical twin flame union. Now I get this a lot, especially lately, of goddesses going, but wait a minute, I thought it was a journey about me, but I'm so confused. And it's this. Number one, just as the self-love empowerment journey, a twin flame journey is many layered and multifaceted. Number one, yes, you are going to want to be with your twin. At some point in time, there is that deeper part of you that yearns for that physical union. I get it, I do. But at the same time, you've also got to be able to recognize that you've got to be perfectly acceptable and willing to focus on you and live your life on your own and be perfectly, happily, and joyfully okay with that in your power, because then you're not allowing something outside of you to affect you. I know it can seem so, but it's allowing yourself to visualize what it is to be with your counterpart and knowing that you're doing that work and aligning with that and divine timing. You're letting go of the outcome. You're letting go of when. You're letting go of how, and you're focusing on you now. You're bringing that balance within yourself, because that is what it is, goddess. It is about you bringing the masculine and feminine energies within yourself into balance. Because once you do that, once you have healed so much of this, that is what amplifies your light, your bat signal that will call your counterpart home when you least expect it. And that's the thing, is when you are looking for him and where is he and when's he coming back, you are then amplifying him not being there. And that in turn will continue to keep him away. Believe me, I'm familiar with that one, let me tell you. So it's time to be very, very intentional about your life, your journey, your healing twin flames journey, what it is that you desire to be experiencing, and be asking yourself, is this decision or this thought aligning me with the life I desire to be living? Because so many of us, we have so much bullshit, BS, belief systems about men, love, relationships, ourselves. So we have a landfill of shit, right? That contradicts cycles, that belief patterns that contradict twin flame union. Because that is what keeps us out of union within ourselves. Remember, the only way to come into union with your twin is to come home to union within. And this is, again, about bringing those energies into balance inside of you. So start to be intentional. Really anchor into the present moment and be intentional about every next thought, every next step, every next move, every next feeling, because that is when you are really truly practicing the harnessing of energy in this realm. If you do not learn this lesson, you're coming back here, sister. That's why you came to this earth school. And I don't know about y'all, but I really am working on harnessing the energy here, because I didn't want to come back to earth school, I'm sure. But I knew that I needed to, and so I did. And I know so many of you feel the same. We came here with a mission, on purpose, intentional. So it's time to really bring that soul energy, bring it forth, bring it to the surface. Reclaim the power from the ego mind and break those cycles and those sabotaging patterns. Begin to allow yourself to celebrate your graduation from this school. Okay? Celebrate that you are already living the life that you desire. Wow. And as I said, living the life you desire, I flipped the card over and it's the freedom card. Because you are free, goddess. You are free to be, do, and have anything. You are free to live whatever life you desire to live. The only limitations are the ones created by your own mind. And it's not your job to figure out how something is going to happen. That's the universe. Remember, the mind only has a very, very limited perspective of how something can happen. The universe is infinite. Your soul is infinite. And you are thus and therefore connected to that infinite flow of this experience. So get out of your own way, goddess. Get out of your own way. Liberate yourself. Liberate yourself. Break free from the cycles. Celebrate the freedom that you know by dancing and allowing things to balance in your life. Being intentional about all of this, about all that is your journey. Right? Let's just do a little bit of this and really mix them up this time. Let's see what we got. What do we need to know to shine our light? Ooh, those just popped out. Huh. You are not alone. Your entire bloodline, your ancestors, your spirit guides, angels, archangels, you are supported, goddess. And how can you feel this? Through meditation, through allowing yourself to feel it. It's time to break the cycle of believing that you are alone, because it's a lie. I'm going to call it like I see it. It's a lie. And in fact, Sisterhood of the Rose, allow yourself to be a part of a sisterhood. Allow yourself to see that you are not alone. I know what it's like to have so-called friends. I've been there so many times in my life, sister. I know what it's like to have someone that you thought was your friend only to turn their back on you and betray you. I know. But I tell you, I can look back and see all the ways that I was betraying my own self, and that's the key. Is we teach others how to treat us, and as you go and grow through your spiritual awakening journey, you will really truly be able to look at these things and take responsibility for your role in your experience, which that is what it is to harness energy, to pay attention to your thoughts, your feelings, your words that you're speaking. And then you lead by example in your life. You, rather than participating in an experience where someone wants to complain or moan and groan and be in that low vibration, you can choose to say, I don't go there. How about you come up here? The view is so much nicer. Because it is. Lead by example, Goddess. Where are you being called to journey to? Remember, as I said, the state of the world is temporary. Everything is temporary. Just look back over your life. For a moment, don't stay there though. Hold tight to the feel-good experiences and recognize that you can and are experiencing those again. And perhaps this journey is your journey back to yourself. Because remember, the only way to ever come into union with your twin is to come home to union within. To really allow yourself to be where you are, to feel what you're feeling, whatever it is you're feeling. To perhaps recognize that when your mind wants to say, oh, I'm bored, that's really just the ego trying to distract you. And I say try, because the ego works off of try. Trying to distract you from being present. If you feel perfectly content and neutral, let yourself feel content and neutral. Let yourself be where you are and allow that to be perfectly okay. Because that is still you breaking the cycle of feeling that need to be feeling something, that need to be doing something, because that is of the ego. Ego is doing, soul is being. I get it, sister. I do get it. It's challenging to shift, to break those cycles of doing, do. It's do, I tell you. All right, because it's bullshit. Belief systems that told you that you needed to be doing all the time, that you needed to be experiencing and, earning your keep every minute of every day. As we ascend, we are releasing those burdensome beliefs and allowing ourselves to truly be the full soul expressions that we've come to be. Free to be me. There's an affirmation for you. I am free to be me. I am free to be me. Beauty. Wow. Looky here. Beauty and devotion. Allow yourself to see the beauty around you and within you, and that which you are. It's so aligned that last night I finally went to the store since I've been back on my trip, and there was this whole collection of discounted bouquets. They were $5, and I'm like, oh well, I spend more than that on a chai. Yes, please. And they were gorgeous. There was such a beautiful, and I literally came home and I took a picture, or I did a little boomerang for my Instagram story, and I wrote on there, picked me up some of these beauties tonight. Beauty is all around, within, and is you, Goddess. The only one who keeps yourself from seeing it is yourself. And this goes back to the only limitations you will ever know are the ones created by your own mind. This is why when you are saying that you don't feel strength, it's because you're not letting yourself feel strong. When you say that you don't feel beautiful or you don't feel good, it's because you're not letting yourself feel good. By taking your power back and saying, you know what, because I am feeling out of sorts and disconnected from my well-being, I am going to go within and focus on me and bring that shit back into balance. I'm going to be intentional about my experience here and take that responsibility for myself, which gives me the ability to respond. And I am going to choose to meditate, to marinate in rest and relaxation. Put on some meditative music and just zone out and allow yourself to come back to center, to feel good. And thus the retreat card, to pull your power back, to pull that energy back and recognize that you really are not helping another if you cannot first help yourself. And especially in your twin flame connection, dear sweet sister, if you are finding yourself feeling so graspy, so needy, so longing for your counterpart, it is because you are being called to go within, to focus on you and your energy and your point of attraction, to come back home to yourself. And that means to retreat from the outside world, to disconnect, to reconnect. That, dear sweet goddess, is this week's Twin Flame Tuesday. It's so beautiful how these cards complement and amplify each other. So I remind you that you are the catalyst, goddess. The power is in your hands because it has always been inside you. And that's what I do, is I am so grateful, honored, and blessed that I was so divinely shoved into this self-love empowerment coaching arena of where I am. I didn't look for it. I didn't see it coming. Same with my twin flame. But that's the magic of this journey, is when you stop trying to control everything, because that again is the ego. That's when magic and miracles happen. You look for and find where your power is, and that is one of my great gifts, is to sit down with a client and be able to hear your story, hear your challenge, which is the opportunity for growth that you're being presented with, and assist you in looking for and finding your power in that, so you can integrate that lesson and move forward and no longer be stuck there. No longer be feeling disempowered and overwhelmed and frustrated and struggling. You don't have to struggle. You are not alone, dear goddess. I do still have some one-on-one spots. Again, I only take them a couple days a week, so many a month. That's it, because I do give so much in my sessions. You can claim yours today at IamEmpowered.as.me. Again, IamEmpowered.as.me, because you are empowered as yourself, goddess. I've mentioned before when I created that custom domain at Acuity Scheduling, because that's the .as, and then the .me is the extension for the custom link pages, right? I did not know that it was going to come out exactly as it did. I am empowered as me, because you are. You are fully empowered when you are fully yourself, because nobody else can be you. And nobody can take your power away unless you give it to them. I know that very well, sister. I am here for you. I am here to support you. I am excited about what I do. I celebrate what I get to do all the time. The beauty that is my life and my journey from what it was to what it is now, what I've overcome, what I've transcended, transmuted, integrated. I will tell you though, it is a never-ending, perpetual, going and growing journey. There's always something to learn, some place to reclaim that power and rise higher and higher. That said, dear Goddess, I'm here for you to remind you yet again that the power is in your hands, because it has always been inside you. Namaste.